Today we have this 2020 Lincoln Navigator Reserve, courtesy of Yark Automotive Group, listed at the live market price of $55,995. The exterior color is known as iced mocha, and it's finished over a tan interior. This is a beautiful color. You can see the metallic flake in the paint. Starting with the front, we have this massive Lincoln grille. LED running and parking lights. We're also riding on 22-inch 16-spoke machined aluminum wheels. We're also riding on Hankook all-season tires, measuring 285 by 45 R22. It's a beautiful machined Lincoln Navigator badge across the side. It's an overall handsome profile. It's very subdued. It's not really in your face or anything like that. It's very relaxed yet opulent. They've done a great job of differentiating this from the Ford Expedition. On the outside, as you can see, we have this massive rear tail lamp. Liftgate is of course power operated. Have all of the floor mats in the back here. You have plenty of space for all these floor mats. A little bit more space than the Escalade. We also have power seat control. We have outlets right there, and in the back we have these enormous cup holders along with USB outlets on either side with a 12-volt outlet right there. It's one of the most beautiful SUVs on the market. You can see we have this even more gorgeous white interior. This tan interior is beautiful. There's plenty of legroom to go around for rear passengers. We also have the benefit of captain's chairs, so you can have no issue worrying about your children getting in fights on a long road trip. There's still plenty of space for the third row back there as well, and they can all sit comfortably. These seats are cushy, and they let you sink right into the padding. Up here we can see we have rear climate control, along with media and volume control for the radio. We have two USB ports right there, a 12-volt outlet right there, and a 110 power outlet right there. Down here, we've got two decent-sized cup holders and two storage pockets for whatever you'd like to put back there. We also have this enormous panoramic roof. You can see up there we also have luggage racks, because this is the perfect road tripper. Check out the cockpit. Up here in the cockpit, this is completely different than the Ford Expedition. Lincoln has done a fantastic job of keeping this different and on a whole nother level than the Ford counterpart. This is one of the most beautiful interiors of any SUV on the road today. The seats are so far apart you may as well be in a different zip code. Starting over here on the door, we have our power seat controls. We have massaging seat controls. We have the power locks, power mirrors, adjustable mirrors, and power windows. Here's our exit handle. Our light control here, along with the dimming for the gauge cluster, the fog lights, and the rear power hatch, along with the power adjustable pedals. Adaptive cruise control. For phone controls, navigation controls, heads-up display controls, a very handsome and elegant heads-up display right there, organized with all of the important information you might need on a road trip. A beautiful LCD screen. There's a lot of black, but the black kind of complements the white because the gauges also light up. That's a neat little feature. The speedometer also lights up as well, according to the certain speed word in which you might be going. This Lincoln Navigator is showing just over 52,000 miles, and it does have a clean Carfax report. If you're interested in the clean Carfax report, go to yarkauto.com and find this listing where you can find all of these service history and records, so you have the comfort of knowing that this is only a one-owner vehicle. It's never been in any accidents, and it also has been thoroughly inspected through and through by Yark before being put up for sale. Wheel feels nice to the touch. We have a decent sized display screen here with Ford's sync system. CarPlay and Android Auto are standard on this as well. We have different pages of apps for the climate, the phone, navigation. It's a little bit slow, but it works well. We have our gear selector here. They've gone away from the traditional console mounted shifter and leaned more toward the button shifter. That's kind of controversial, but to each their own. Volume control right here. We have power, we have seek and tuning and sources. We also have our climate controls with these beautiful lights. Those are nice, elegant touches. A decent sized storage pocket with a USB and USB-C outlet, along with another 12-volt outlet and wireless charging. That's an interesting place for it. On this side we have two more cup holders along with a small storage cubby. Parking brake, automatic start stop. We'll turn that off. We have different drive modes, the parking sensors, automatic parking. Auto hold is on. Recommend you leave that on because you don't need to put your foot on the brake when you're stopped at a light. Here we have a deep storage cubby with this that can be removed. This beautiful wood flush trim matches well with this nice flush aluminum trim pieces throughout the interior. It's beautiful. It's an opulent place to be in this Lincoln. Some might say even better than an Escalade. We also do have massaging seats, as I've just started massaging myself as well. They work well. Very comfortable and soft. But you can definitely change the way you want your massage to be. I'll be through these buttons here on the door. So as I massage myself in this beautiful Lincoln Navigator, let's go ahead and take this Lincoln out for a drive. Under the hood of this Lincoln Navigator is a 450 horsepower EcoBoost V6 twin turbo, the same engine that can be found in the Platinum F-150 along with the F-150 Raptor. 450 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. This is universally used across a lot of Ford vehicles along with General Motors vehicles. This is the same transmission that they co-developed together for these vehicles, and it works seamlessly. It's a great transmission, it's a great combo, and you have instant power delivery along with instant torque. The cool thing about it is you can also hear the turbochargers as they spool up, and you can also hear the blow off as well. So it's really cool to hear that from an SUV that weighs 7,000 pounds. It's very interesting. You can see that we have the heads-up display here. It's crystal clear. You have the time, you have the temperature, you also have your speedometer along with your adaptive cruise control setup and your fuel range to empty. This one is a little bit low, but that's okay. Cruising down this residential street, probably what would be the Navigator's home, a nice residential neighborhood like this one, just cruising down the road, not a care in the world, getting a massage. That's something you can definitely do too in this Lincoln Navigator. Seats are super comfortable and cushy. These are perfect for a long road trip. Plenty of comfort imaginable because this is a Lincoln Navigator. So of course, you want to have the most comfort possible, and you do. Nice throttle response. It doesn't sound like a V6 though. Probably because the audio is being pumped in. This is new enough to where manufacturers have started to do that. Not that there's a problem with that, but it definitely does not sound like an EcoBoost. A lot of sound deadening, but it's smooth. Very smooth steering too. This is all by wire, and you can definitely still feel the road input through the steering wheel, which is good. Floating around this corner seat keeps me in with no problem. It's just so elegant. When you buy a Navigator, you want to be elegant. Like the Escalade, you buy the Escalade because you want to be flamboyant, you want to have the biggest, and you want to just say that I have this and I'm going to put it in your face. The Navigator is different. You buy the Navigator because you want to be luxurious and you want to be high class, but you want to be elegant as well. It's a much more elegant SUV than the Escalade is, purely because it's not as in your face. It's more pseudo handsome luxury. It's more refined. This interior is beautiful. This is the much better interior compared to the Cadillac, because there's not a lot of cheap parts in here. Everything seems as if it's high quality. So if you want to look cool and be elegant and opulent, this is the car for you. Unleash this 450 horsepower monster. tall gearing from that 10-speed, but it shifts like it's nothing. You cannot even hear this thing changing gear, and you cannot feel it either. Right up there, it tells me I'm getting too close. And it also does have automatic braking as well, with a nice little Lincoln Continental displayed on the heads-up display, because this is a Lincoln. It's so amazing how fast they make these things with this much power. 450 horsepower in a Navigator. Back when these first came out, they were making just over 200, but now we've got it up to 450. You can hear that turbo whistle as well. It's really just, it throws you off completely. Visibility is, of course, not that great, but have these gigantic side mirrors, so they definitely help in monitoring the blind spots. You also have lane keep assist and blind spot monitoring as standard, so helps keep you in your lane. A lot of technology through here, but it works well together. Throwing it into this corner, I'm sensing a bit of body roll, but I'm staying in my seat and it's staying planted, no problem. This is exactly where the Lincoln Navigator finds its place at home. On the highway, with the massaging seats on, floating down the road, because he literally feels as if you're floating on a cloud. It's not rough, it's not tight, it's not jarring. You could fall asleep like this. Don't do that, obviously, but I'm just saying it is so comfortable in here that highway driving is what this is best suited for. On the brakes feel nice and cushy. No hardness or deadness in the brake pedal. Bring it down to a stop, no problem. Big brakes are needed on a big vehicle like this one. Throwing it into the roundabout, definitely sensing some body roll. But stability control will, of course, keep you countered from any type of severe body roll. So you have the confidence to really drive this spiritedly if you like. The seats are keeping me bolstered well, and I'm still getting a perfect massage. So driving it spiritedly and getting massage is something you can do in a Navigator as we get back on the highway and we mat it. Let that V6 just open itself up. Really sounds good too. I never thought I'd say that about a twin turbo V6, but it does sound fantastic for what it is. There's a reason why people call this the Eco Beast rather than the Eco Boost. 450 horsepower out of a twin turbo V6 is absolutely absurd, but it works well for this. It's another thing that makes this Navigator so refined and laid back, because you would expect this to have a big engine, but when you hear it has a V6, it may be like, oh, it's got a twin turbo V6, until you drive it, and then you realize that, oh my God, this is a twin turbo V6 that's making all this power. It's fantastic. It really suits this well. And it's relatively fuel efficient. We've been averaging 18, 19 miles per gallon on the highway. So as always, if you like this vehicle or you like this video, remember to check us out at Yark Automotive Group. That's yarkauto.com, where you can find hundreds of certified pre-owned and new vehicles. Yark Automotive also specializes in bringing you a full clean Carfax report. As stated before, this one has a full clean Carfax with a one owner history, no damage or anything like that reported. And we also specialize in making sure that you're getting the live market price and the best of what you're paying for. Because at Yark, we've got just what you're looking for.